terms, in gold terms, in silver terms. So we have to think about that when we talk about nominally. It's, of course, nominal to the rest of the fiat trash currencies of the world. The US dollar is defending a pullback here. You can see this a little bit more clearly when you're looking at the euro inversely. The euro is inside of a 50% retracement short from highs to lows. We had these resistance levels as we were going into our weekend. And then on Sunday night and Monday morning, we've sold off from those resistance levels. We confirmed the targets below and have had new resistance levels here as we're going into our morning at the 1804. What we're anticipating here is as long as we hold below those 1811s, that we will continue to a downside profit target. Notice that there are two targets down here. One is the daily short target of the 1691, and the other is the 50% short from our 2 Tuesdays ago, highs to lows. Why that is important, why that dollar strength trade is important to understand, is we are currently in an environment where the currencies are in a negative correlation with the US dollar. Now, are they negatively correlated with the US indices? No, they are completely neutral. What the 30-day correlation tells us right now is that there's no effect from the US dollar, And that's part of the reason why we are going straight sideways on the indices. And this is a little bit easier to see here when you view this from say an hourly chart, or even better, zoom out a little bit further to a 4-hour chart. So we have been stuck in these ranges here where the indices are just going sideways. And you can see here that most of our swing highs that we've had over this last 2 weeks have been determined by the VIX running into its variations of longs. So all these little swing highs that you see are correlated with the VIX defending a long from lows. And we'll go take a look here at the the VIX inversely. So let's zoom out to that same time frame, the hourly chart. So let's think about this from the perspective of these 7 swing highs here that we have on the indices. The equivalent of these are these 7 swing lows that we have had over this last 2 weeks coming out of, and this was a line in the sand to a long setup itself. I don't have that setup drawn up right now. And then we have the setups that we were inside of coming out of last week, defending our support levels. And even today. So what is the VIX currently inside of? It's right at the top of its range. We are running directly into our 50% retracement short from highs. And even though the indices broke their long setups, look at what the Friday high that the VIX ran into. The equivalent of that is the ES's previous low, and that's this 68.4725. So this morning, we squeezed up into our resistance level and Friday's previous highs, filled our gap, and then rolled right over from resistance as the VIX squeezed away from its previous Friday lows. We had this incredible arbitrage as we were going into our morning. And as we went into the beginning of the daily doldrums, the VIX started coming out of the top of its range here. This stream continues at emoneyaddict.com. The link is in the description. Join me there for tools and resources for learning measured move trading. I wrote the book on the measured move. Check out the hundreds of others that have learned trading plan development, pattern recognition, money management, and trading discipline with me to become the best, most confident trader that you can be.